After Peru, Kelvin and I flew to the United States and we visited my family that I hadn't seen in a long time, so it was very nice to see them again and for Kelvin to finally meet them. We also went on a lot of adventures in Ohio, visiting the Hocking Hills State Park, for example. It's amazing how many waterfalls are there. Did not expect that. Made it. First stop on the river. Let me try to. Oh, it's a good one. This? Yeah. That was Kelvin's. Okay, that's my turn. Ah, 2 times. We also celebrated the 4th of July. It was so long that I celebrated that, and it was such an amazing fireworks show. We also went to the Good Guys car show. It was so big and so many classic cars. As a kid, I really loved going to these kind of car shows, so it was very nostalgic for me.
Kristen Capino, family toter, ice cream getter, larger than custom. 1965 Ford Mustang. Right. Power.
Yeah? We also went to Kentucky to spend some time with some other family members of mine, and after that, that's when we started our road trip actually.
Wow. Yeah, you're right.
So we started our road trip from Ohio and went all the way to California and back. And it's always been a dream of mine to make a road trip across the US. And being able to do that last year was absolutely amazing. We borrowed the pickup truck from my dad and the tent from my uncle, packed up all our stuff in the truck, and we went our way on the road trip. Our favorite kind of accommodation was just using the Koa app, and you'll be able to book a tent site or a cabin at one of the Koa locations, and they have a pool often and some public showers, and it was just a really nice way for us to cool off and have a decent sleeping space for the night, so definitely recommend using that. Speaking of apps, a quick tip here is to install the app Gas Buddy to make sure that you gas up at the cheapest gas station near you. We drove through Kansas, a whole lot of nothing there, but we also thought that the sceneries were very cool, very picturesque, so we had some fun there. And then driving towards Colorado, we stopped at this really cool 60s themed diner in Flagler. In Colorado, we stopped to see some family of mine and also to visit the Rocky Mountain National Park. Okay, so I just looked this up, this road. It's called the Trail Ridge Road. So let me show you the map real quick. Oh, you can't see that. But anyhow, we're on the Trail Ridge Road now. We just passed the Many Parks curve. And yeah, we're somewhere right over there. Driving next to a cliff. Oh wow. Look at that. But you can stop all along the way here.
You go with Milford.
We're going a bit further, but not going all the way to the end though, but they really recommend this road to have like a, as you can see, a very scenic drive. See some snow on the mountains. Now in most national parks in the US, you need a reservation to enter the park. You can do this on the website recreation.gov or visit their mobile app. But to be honest, we didn't really do that for any of the parks because past a certain time, for this park specifically, I think it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon, past that time you're allowed to enter it without a reservation. After Colorado, we drove through Wyoming and we slowly started seeing the sceneries change. I still drive though, it's not that bad. One of our favorite states from the road trip was Utah, probably. On the way to California, we drove through the upper half, and then going back to Ohio, we drove through the south part. Now, a place that we really recommend is driving to Antelope Island State Park. This place is, I feel like it's a hidden gem or something. There are not a lot of people when we went there, but the sights that we saw were amazing.
Whoa, it isn't.
Water's full of these. Kelvin. Just casually crossing the street, because why not? Now this is how you're supposed to see animals of these kind. We stopped at the rest area westbound, literally next to the highway, and we ended up on Mars apparently. This is the Bonneville Salt Flats.
Here we are at our first cabin.
Yeah, first cabin from Koa.
We're excited.
No tent for today.
Oh, cool.
Table, bed. Oh, you're gonna have a bunk bed.
And an airco.
Air conditioning. It's a whole lot of nothing now. Air conditioning means wearing your bikini in the car. At this point, we were driving through Nevada.
So,
Made it to California.
yeah.
So that deserves a
Cheers on that.
Yeah. Got it. First points.
And our tent is already made. Oh,
This is in Colville, California, just over the border from Nevada to California.
close to Yosemite National Park
3 hours drive from here.
and Lake Tahoe.
Top.
And now we're sitting here with a beautiful view.
California mountains.
Yeah.
Okay. We are on our way to Lake Tahoe, and we just drove through this little cute town
Very
with
nice.
very typical buildings, like old cabin wood, it seemed like. And now we're driving through the forest, and look at that, there's a sign. You might see a bear. Sad, all these trees are just dead. Oh wow, there you can see Lake Tahoe. And if we zoom in real quick, you can see the soft sand there. People relaxing on the sand. It's like a beach. This is Emerald Bay, the place that we wanted to go to, but we just could not find a parking spot there. It's just insane how full that it was. So we ended up driving back to the first beach, El Dorado Beach. So here we are at the Levitt Falls in California. Look. Pretty. Hello. What do you think?
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's a nice way to start the day. So we just explored one kind of path already, and now Kelvin, he is trying to find the other path. Well, another path, I'm sorry. But I don't think we're gonna be able to go to the water. Just have to admire it from a view.
Yeah, this is supposed to be on the corner of Yosemite. Ah, no. Hell no. Kelvin! Is te gevaarlijk? King of the world. How was it? Yeah. Yeah, we're not gonna do it. Too dangerous. So this is at the other Leavitt vista point. There are two areas here where you can take pictures. This is really a nice viewpoint.
We then made a spontaneous trip to Bodie State Historic Park. Bodie used to be a thriving metropolis, but for many years now it has been a ghost town. It's open to the public, and I believe that we paid $8 per person to enter. They even opened one of the houses for tourists to take a look inside.
Oh wow. Baby crib. And on the bottom.
Yeah.
Lake Mono, right over here. Look at that blue water. It's nice.
Here we are at Yosemite.
Kelvin. First stop in Yosemite.
That's road work. I know. Look.
Yeah, there was a lot of road work that we just had to pass through.
Yeah.
I think Yosemite is probably one of the most popular national parks in the US, and after visiting this place we fully understand why. We only visited a part of it and we were just so in awe. We visited Yosemite past 4 o'clock, which allowed us to enter without a park entrance reservation. We were very happy that we did it that way because Yosemite can become very crowded, and this allowed us to see Yosemite when it's not that crowded and to see such a beautiful sunset there.
Justine.
This was at Monterey Beach in California. We visited my family in California and they took us exploring through the city of San Francisco. We just had such a blast with them. We really loved walking across the Golden Gate Bridge. There is also this very cool museum called Musée Mécanique. It's all like penny arcade games and artifacts located at Fisherman's Wharf.
Alcatraz right there.
Now, after San Francisco, Kelvin and I headed to Sequoia National Park.
And driving in the giant forest. Going. Look at these trees.
Now, the Sequoia National Park holds a special space in my heart. I went here as a child, and being able to visit this place again with Kelvin was surreal.
Just saw a bear.
Just saw a bear. Let's go trees.
Look at this view. We had to stop by the road and just look at this. Beautiful.
This was on our way to Joshua Tree National Park. So as Kelvin and I were going to Joshua Tree, there was actually a flash flood ahead of us. Now these typically occur during monsoon season in July, August, and September. The weather can change really quick, making it dangerous very fast. So if you ever encounter one of these, make sure you get out of the area ASAP. That's what we did. We turned around and went to a cafe that we passed earlier that day. There we met a man who was more familiar with the area and just actually advising us to wait it out. He was checking up closely on the weather forecast, and he said in like 1 to 2 hours the rain should become like a mud crust on top of the road, and once we get past that it should be clear. And yeah, he was right. So please let this be a message of doing your research better than we did beforehand. And then it was time to set up our tent in Black Rock Canyon Campground. Now the sunsets here are amazing. The day afterwards, we explored a bit of the Yucca Valley.
Hi, Kelvin. Say hello to the people. Hiking in Joshua Tree. Let's go.
From here, we made our way to Vegas.
Off to Vegas. Let's go get more money, just. Let's make some money. Yes.
We suggest walking across the strip, just exploring places like the Venetian, see a free show at Circus Circus, or one of the free shows during the evening on the strip. Go to Fremont Street, you'll have a very beautiful light show there. Now after Vegas, we went to probably the hottest area of our road trip, Valley of Fire, and yes, it is its name. Now there are these very beautiful red rock formations there. And the one and only Mouse Tank Road. And oh my gosh, guys, another very, very beautiful park is the Sia National Park. We were just so in awe over here.
Beautiful Sia.
We definitely recommend going to the Canyon Overlook Trail. It's a 1-mile round trip hike to an incredible viewpoint over the valley. We watched the sunset over the mountains, and probably one of the highlights from this road trip. The day afterwards we came back because we also wanted to check out the Narrows. It's a very cool hike in Zia National Park. Keep in mind that you'll have to walk in the water for this. We only walked a small portion of this hike though before returning because we wanted to arrive at our next destination on time. Now in Arizona, we visited this place called the Horseshoe Bend. It is absolutely magnificent. Now super close from this viewpoint, you'll find the Page Lake Cattle Campground. It's not a COA campground, but we also really like this one, and we definitely recommend going here.
Oh, look at this. This is nice.
Wow. Okay, this is a bit cooler than I expected.
Is it an airco?
There's air conditioning here.
Look at these little... How cool is this? Can we bring it with us, huh? Yeah.
Now at this point we were making our way towards the north rim of the Grand Canyon. It was better for our route, so we visited the north rim, and our next trip to the States we'll have to visit the south rim.
Part of Vermilion Cliffs. What was the sign? Huh?
Vermilion Cliffs.
Dog first was the Red Canyon already?
It's on the north side of Grand Canyon, North Rim.
Very great.
We're almost at 9,000 feet elevation, but it's so weird. First you're in a desert, and now here you're surrounded by the forest and a valley, and then in a bit will be the Grand Canyon.
Yeah. Should be.
Now we really can't compare the North Rim to the South Rim, but from what we've heard, North Rim is actually a little less touristy and the views are just incredible as well. This was on the way back from the Grand Canyon and was probably one of the most beautiful scenes that I've ever seen, with the lights from the sun going down and then with the thunderstorm with the lightning in the background. It was just very unique.
Entering Monument Valley.
This is just the beginning, guys. It is already nice.
Now this felt like we were in a movie or something. We went to the famous Forrest Gump point where Forrest Gump stopped running in the movie. It's located on US Route 163, approximately 20 miles southwest of Valley of the Gods. Snow, snow! Oh, is this where you stop running?
Yeah, I'm gonna quit now.
This is the point, Forrest Gump Point, but as you can see, it's a very famous picture spot.
Yeah,
And of course,
on the road.
yeah, we took our pictures too.
It's beautiful though.
Now, probably one of my favorite experiences, I think my favorite experience actually was staying at Utah's Valley of the Gods. There are free BLM land campsites where you can camp for free. But it's very important that you stay only on the specific campsites that they have there. It was amazing, and I've never seen a night sky like that before. We woke up to the sunrise and then slowly started making our way to Colorado again. We enjoyed little moments together and slowly started making our way back to Ohio. This trip will always be in our heart. We spent 1 month roughly on the road, a little less than a month, and then the other month we spent with family, and it's the experiences there, we'll never forget them. If you ever get the chance to make a road trip like that, definitely recommend doing it.